First round of the NBA playoffs are over, and people are already trying to assign trading destinations to teams for all-star players that were already eliminated. The world we live in. To put it simply, the first round was underwhelming. The only series that I really thought stood out was the sweep, which, stay tuned, I'll get into that. In this video, I'm going to give my takeaways from round one and move into the semis. Brooklyn Nets. What the hell is going on? Don't blow it up, just reload. I think a lot of off-the-court issues will be able to solve themselves in this offseason before we head into the 2022 to 2023 season. I think they'll be fine. I think also, though, this sweep is very legacy. I say this in parentheses, legacy altering, because if you get swept, that doesn't look good on any resume at all. And especially because it's Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, it's going to be something to talk about for a while. And I don't see this story going away anytime soon. The Suns are very vulnerable. The Pelicans almost forced a Game 7. Devin Booker went down with a wrist injury. I don't think NBA fans believe that the Pelicans shouldn't have even gotten that far. But the fact that they did shows that the Suns are very vulnerable and can be beaten in the next round if serious injuries are to occur and they lose all momentum. Are the 76ers frauds? Maybe a little bit of imposter syndrome. James Harden didn't play his best in every single game he was out there. They almost blew a 3-0 lead, and Doc Rivers' coaching is up for question. Toronto was gaining momentum towards the end of the series, and a lot of people thought the 76ers were going to blow a lead. I didn't buy into that. I thought the 76ers were just fine. But continuing into the next round versus the Miami Heat, coaching will be a big thing. And just looking at Doc Rivers' history of coaching, if the players do not step up and the coach is to blame and at fault, then yes, I would say that Doc Rivers' coaching in the next round will be the 76ers' ultimate downfall. Are the Celtics legit? Tatum played amazing. Celtics have all the momentum right now. To say it once again, they swept two All-Stars. They swept Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. That doesn't just happen every single year. This is something very unique. To me, it feels like the 2018 finals where, whoa, that was a shocker and you weren't supposed to get swept. Smart is out indefinitely right now, so hopefully he's able to come back and get ready for the Bucks series. The state of Utah right now is a mess. There's a lot of trade and talk that Donovan Mitchell is going to want to opt out of his contract and that Rudy Gobert should be traded. I don't think it's, real. I think the Jazz are going to stay together even with the coach. But there's probably going to be some off-season decisions like bringing in a Bradley Beal or Dennis Schroeder type of player to Utah to just add more weapons for Donovan Mitchell. They'll be fine. They'll be able to bounce back. Luka, though, was trolling the Utah Jazz. Oh, he's back, and it's fun to watch. The Warriors are scary again. The Nuggets were no match for them. Klay Thompson's shooting was through the roof. His 30-plus point game performances. Jordan Poole off the bench is being phenomenal. And I read it. Oh, I can't give the source. I don't remember it off the top of my head. I think it was like Bleacher Report or First Take. The nickname PTSD, I think, is pretty fitting with Poole, Thompson, Steph, and Draymond. These guys are scary, and I'm still not sleeping on them. I think they're serious. The Grizzlies' zero playoff experience showed against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves won some games that they were not supposed to. Memphis Grizzlies had their meltdowns in certain games, and they were able to barely pull out the series when a lot of people thought it was tilting the T-Wolves' way. Bucks and Heat take care of business. The Bucks and the Heat were able to beat their teams respectfully and move on to the second round. Nothing's changed. No real injuries. I think they're just reloading and getting ready for round two to play their best ball. Suns versus Mavericks. I have the Suns in 7. Luka Magic will show up and he'll be able to single-handedly steal a game or two for the Mavericks in this series. If Booker is out indefinitely with that wrist injury, Chris Paul cannot carry this team alone. I don't want to say it, but just watch out. Hopefully Devin Booker can come back, because Chris Paul trying to carry the Suns alone, I don't know. I think it's pretty evenly matched, and I don't want to say it, but yeah, Mavericks could win in 7. Brunson is showing up too, and so for the Suns to win, I think if you shut down Brunson, you shut down Luka, you shut down the Mavericks, and the Suns can move on. I'm going to play it safe. I don't want to say an upset. I think the Suns can move on in 7. Warriors versus Grizzlies. I was correct on this prediction in my last video. I'm going to change it this time. I'm going to say Warriors in 6, and here's why. I'm a big fat doofus. I thought Jordan Poole was a rookie. Dude's not a rookie. He was drafted in 2019. But Jordan Poole is coming off the bench, and he's made a name for himself in this playoff already. He's playing at a high caliber that the Golden State Warriors need for them to keep pushing in these playoffs. Klay Thompson needs to keep shooting well and having his 30-plus point games. Steph Curry needs to show that he's a leader and try to keep Draymond Green in check and not have stupid penalties. Keys for the Grizzlies to win: Ja Morant needs help. The lack of experience is kind of showing, and with the lack of it, it could be costly. Lack of experience could be the difference between being swept 4-0, being bounced after 5 games. Hopefully, the Memphis Grizzlies can keep up with the Warriors and get it to 6 games. But if Ja Morant does not show up and nobody is helping him, don't be surprised to watch the Warriors turn back into the juggernaut of a team they were years ago and beat the Grizzlies easily. The Heat versus the 76ers. I'm going to take the Heat in 5. The Heat are on a roll right now. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, they're taking over the series right now. Another injury is Embiid is out indefinitely. I don't think James Harden can carry the 76ers, being the underdog in this series alone. This is another series that I think, besides the players, it does come down to coaching. Spoelstra versus Doc Rivers. I'm going to take Spoelstra with the momentum of being the number 1 seed too. Also, and just how they were able to take care of the Atlanta Hawks very easily. That's why I think Miami is going to be too much for the 76ers. I think Miami's going to split game 3 or 4 and get 1 win in Philadelphia, and they're going to take all that momentum back into game 5, and that's where they'll eliminate the 76ers 4-1. And then also for the 76ers, I think a big storyline is, yes, a lot of sports writers will say, oh, it's time to blow up Philadelphia, get Embiid out of there, blah, 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 get Doc Rivers out of there. I think they're fine too. Here's what my takeaway for the 76ers losing would be: how much they came up short and the lack of, I would call it team chemistry. The lack of team chemistry is there's going to be a game or two where it's going to be late and the 76ers have the potential to win it, but they don't. And that's what's going to be the shock, is how much they came up short, where they were projected to go 6, if not 7 games versus the Miami Heat. But in those critical moments where they weren't able to capitalize towards the end of the game and sneak out a win, they weren't able to, and that's where the Heat were ultimately the victors. Bucks versus Celtics. I'm going to continue. I'm going to say Bucks in 7. Celtics have all the momentum right now, which is pretty cool. To see the Celtics win this series, it would be cool. I'm not rooting against it. But the Bucks are still the Bucks. I think as an eye test, this is the very best series so far in round 2. Hopefully it can get to 7 games. Jason Tatum is on a roll. Giannis is still the former MVP. Smart was the defensive player of the year, so his defense is also going to be a critical key in this series. I see this series going as a 2-2, 1-1-1 kind of series where the last 3 games, it's a race. I have the Bucks coming out on top though and winning in 7. The way the trajectory of the playoff is going, it looks like things are still on cue, except, all the people who predicted the Nets going to the NBA Finals. I'm still going to sit by with my Warriors versus Bucks in the NBA Finals prediction. Let's hope teams play to the best of their abilities and no serious injuries happen, and we get the best basketball. I'm enjoying the playoffs so far, and hopefully we get some more nail-biting finishes and close series.
Take me to the son of a bitch!
Hey there, thanks for watching the video. If you like sports content like this, be sure to stay tuned. I'm trying to make more sports-related content here because we're in the middle of the NHL playoffs. We're in the middle of the NBA playoffs. The MLB season just started. The NFL season is almost being released and preseason stuff starting to come out. So just stay tuned. Have a good day.